For today's headlines, Duterte orders full on-site government work in Alert Level 1 areas. Downshifting of alert level timely according to Concepcion. Sara is Alpha Duterte, gets Rody blessing. MMDA may revise traffic coding scheme. Sulu bomb attack foiled. Pasig City Hall campaign posters removed. Russia expelled from World Cup, clubs banned from international competitions. Referendum restores Belarus's nuclear status. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is March 1, 2022 and these are the latest news of this Tuesday morning. President Rodrigo Duterte has mandated all government offices in areas under Alert Level 1 to require a full on-site workforce. Under Memorandum Circular 96, the President outlined the guidelines that should be observed by departments, bureaus, agencies, and state offices amid a downward trend of coronavirus infections in the country. This issuance is consistent with the de-escalation of certain areas in the country to Alert Level 1 and the release of an updated Alert Level System Guidelines, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said through a statement. The aforesaid issuance is intended to balance health considerations and the continuous delivery of public services, consistent with the updated alert level system, he added. The National Pandemic Task Force earlier announced that Metro Manila and 38 other areas had been placed under Alert Level 1 from 1 to 15 of March in accordance with its improving COVID-19 situation. Meanwhile, the shift to Alert Level 1 in Metro Manila and 37 other areas is very timely amid the expected surge of prices of commodities brought by the Ukraine crisis, according to Palace Advisor for Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion. Concepcion, noting that the interagency task force decision just came in time, said that this is a critical juncture for our economy since we are just coming out of the worst of the pandemic and straight into rising commodity prices worldwide. To have remained closed would have created a perfect storm for our MSME or micro, small, and medium enterprises. He noted that improving indicators on the country's hospital utilization rates, positivity rates, and the number of the new infections should help in encouraging more confidence in people as they return to normal activities. Alert Level 1 refers to areas wherein case transmission is low and decreasing, total bed utilization rate and the intensive care unit utilization rate is low. Under Alert Level 1, the IATF said that there are no restrictions in terms of indoor and outdoor capacities. Everyone can undertake intrazonal and interzonal travel without regard to age and even comorbidities. All establishments, persons, or activities are likewise allowed to operate, work, or be undertaken at total on-site or venue seating capacity, provided that these are consistent with the minimum public health standards. Meanwhile, face-to-face classes for primary education shall be subject to prior approval of the Office of the President. Concepcion warned that the Philippine economy cannot afford to remain closed as the consequences of the war between Russia and Ukraine are certain to reach local shores. President Rodrigo Duterte is to endorse Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio for Vice President in the 2022 elections so as not to hurt his daughter's feelings. It's still not clear whether he'll also pick Duterte Carpio's presidential running mate Bongbong Marcos. Although he maintains that he will not campaign for anybody, the chief executive makes an exception for Sara, however. The president told Daily Tribune in an exclusive interview in Malacanang that he doesn't want to hurt his daughter and that being a father usually, when it comes to their children, they surrender. He admitted that it would be difficult for him not to campaign for Sara, especially if her probability of winning the vice presidential race narrows. He said that she's his daughter after all, and for them, daughters are really priceless. Duterte also took responsibility for why Sara chose this particular path in her political career. He said that it's all because of him. He groomed Sara to be the mayor. He added that she is the alpha in the family, and from there you can almost tell. A mother of three and a lawyer by profession, Sara first entered politics as vice mayor in 2010 alongside her mayor father. Bongbong and Sara have maintained double-digit leads over their rivals in the presidential and vice presidential derbies, respectively, based on the latest social weather station surveys. Tribune News on Q will be back after these short reminders.
Ayon sa World Bank, tinatayang 4.8 hanggang 12.7 milyong toneladang plastik ang sumisira sa ating karagatan taon-taon. Halos 80% nito ang nanggagaling sa Asya. Sa buong mundo, ang Pilipinas ay itinuturing na pangatlong pinakamalaking nagdudulot ng polusyon sa karagatan. Ang nakalalasong kemikal mula sa plastik ay di lamang kumukontamina sa karagatan, ngunit pati na rin sa hanging nilalanghap at lupang ginagalawan natin. Kung magpapatuloy ang kasalukuyang paggamit ng single-use plastics, sa taong 2050, mas marami na ang plastik kumpara sa mga isda na nasa ating mga karagatan. Dahil dito, mas pinaiigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya laban sa paggamit ng single-use plastics. Nanganganib ang ating planeta. Iisa lang ito. Lahat tayo ay dapat kumilos sa lalong madaling panahon upang pangalagaan ito. Tama na ang plastikan.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Vaccination, isolation, gotta keep up with my nutrition, gotta maintain my body condition, then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay na. Babakuna ka ba, 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 babakuna ka ba. Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba, 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 paturok, paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, may recommend adding a number coding scheme from 7 to 9 in the morning, depending on the traffic data it would collate in the next 3 to 7 days. MMDA Traffic Chief Edison Bongnabriha said Monday in a radio interview that the expected heavier volume of traffic in the metropolis with the implementation of Alert Level 1 from March 1 to 15 will have to be addressed after looking at the volume of vehicles. Under the present number coding scheme, private vehicles are barred from Metro Manila roads from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. depending on the ending number of their license plates. The coding scheme exempted public utility vehicles. He said the MMDA will soon recommend to the Metro Manila Council what vehicle volume reduction scheme needs to be implemented. Composed of Metro Manila mayors, the MMC is the policy-setting body in the National Capital Region, while the MMDA is its implementing arm. Mobility restrictions are eased under Alert Level 1 in Metro Manila and 38 other areas, with public utility vehicles allowed 100% of their passenger capacity. State troops reported on Monday announced that they were able to prevent a roadside bombing after following up on a tip that a terrorist group plans to mount an attack in Jolo, Sulu. Joint Task Force Sulu and 11th Infantry Division Commander Brigadier General Ignatius Patrimonio disclosed that explosive components and detonating cords used in the making of improvised explosive device, or IED, were recovered by soldiers in Patikul, Sulu. He noted that soldiers from the 35th Infantry Battalion, or IB, immediately acted and conducted a clearing and paneling operation at Sitio Daan Puti, Barangay Anuling, Patikul, Sulu, to locate the component of the IED on Sunday, February 27. Dog-sniffing K-9 team's handlers immediately conducted a paneling in the area, as reported to them by some residents of the Sitio Daan Puti. Lieutenant Colonel Domingo Robles Jr., commander of the 35th IB, immediately ordered to cordon the area and assess the type of the explosives and components of the IED found in the area. State troops were able to defuse and recover 3 electric blasting caps, 6-meter speaker black and red wire, 1 meter pink detonating cord, 1 gallon of blue engine oil container, 12 volts motorcycle battery, 128 pieces of 4-inch common nails, 37 pieces of 10mm 2-inch steel bars as components for bomb making. The IED was believed to be intended to create havoc in Jolo and inflict injuries and deaths to civilians, including soldiers guarding Jolo, the capital town of Sulu, according to Patrimonio. In other news, the Pasig City government on Monday disowned the distribution of insurance by a partyless group to people at City Hall and the city's mega market. It added that the organizers of the event merely asked permission to hold its event in the 2 venues. The local government unit permission was granted just like any other campaign activities in the city of Pasig, whether national or local, City Administrator Jeron Manzanero said. As such, the city government is not privy to the activities being held by the organizers, he added. It was learned that the group posted campaign posters in the area, and regarding the campaign materials being displayed in the City Hall premises, they immediately acted on the report, and the office of the city administrator ordered the removal thereof, Manzanero said. He reiterated that their pledge to achieve a clean and honest election in May. Tribune News on Cue will be back. Stay with us.
Ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayad.
Manong Joe po.
At Ate Maita.
Good news! Bumaba ang overall electricity rates ng mahigit 7 centavos per kilowatt hour. Samantala, nagbayanihan ang Meralco at iba't ibang organisasyon para dumayo sa labas ng ating service area at tumulong sa mga apektado ng Bagyong Odette. Tinulungan po natin ang electric distribution companies sa mga lugar doon para maibalik ang kuryente. Anumang panahon o layo, maaasahan ang bayanihan ng mga Pinoy kasama ang Meralco para magbigay liwanag sa isa't isa ngayong bagong taon.
New Year na! Ano kaya ang pinakamatipid na pang-init ng pagkain?
Pag LPG, mabigat ang tangke at mabigat sa budget. Mas tipid mag-reheat sa microwave. 43 centavos lang ang konsumo. 80 centavos naman sa toaster. At 91 centavos kapag induction cooker.
Matipid nga!
Happy New Year!
Every time I'm on the road, I can expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
With Globe, our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with the network that gets better every day for you.
Forces coming in from the South Atlantic.
A potentially devastating war in Ukraine is just
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. Russia has been expelled from the 2022 World Cup and its team suspended from all international football competitions until further notice after its invasion of Ukraine, FIFA announced in a joint statement with UEFA on Monday. The men's team had been due to play in qualifying playoffs in March for the World Cup in Qatar later this year, while its women's side had qualified for the European Championship in England to be held in July. The announcement also affects Russian clubs involved in European competitions. The football's global and European governing bodies said that the FIFA and UEFA have decided whether national representative teams or the club teams shall be suspended from participation in both FIFA and UEFA competitions until further notice. Russia was due to play Poland in a World Cup qualifying playoffs final on March 24 and could have gone on to face Sweden or the Czech Republic on March 29 for a place at the finals. But their three potential opponents insisted that they would boycott the matches. FIFA announced on Sunday that Russian teams would be allowed to continue playing under the name of the Football Union of Russia, playing home games on neutral territory and behind closed doors, and with the Russian flag and anthem banned. But those measures were dismissed as totally unacceptable by Polish Football Association President Cezary Kolesia, who added that Poland would not play their World Cup playoff with Russia no matter what the time of the meeting is. FIFA changed its approach on Monday, kicking Russia out of their sports showpiece tournament. Belarusians voted Monday to allow Moscow to host nuclear weapons and Russian forces permanently, results showed, part of a package of constitutional reforms that also extended the rule of leader Alexander Lukashenko. The referendum was held Sunday as the ex-Soviet country's neighbor Ukraine is under attack from Russian troops, and delegations from Moscow and Kyiv are expected to meet for talks on the Belarusian border. Belarus inherited a number of Soviet nuclear warheads following the breakup of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in 1991, according to the Nuclear Threat Initiative think tank, which it then transferred to Russia. The amendments would reinstate presidential term limits, previously ditched by Lukashenko, to 2 5-year terms, but they would only apply to the next elected president. Were Lukashenko to put himself forward as a candidate for the re-election in 2025, he could remain in power for an additional 10 years. The Central Election Commission head Igor Karpenko said 65.16% of referendum participants voted in favor of the amendments and 10.07% voted against, Russian news agencies reported. According to Karpenko, voter turnout stood at 78.63%, and to come into force, the amendments need to receive at least 50% of the vote with a turnout of over half the electorate. Lukashenko, who has been in power since 1994, promised the referendum in the wake of historic protests against his disputed re-election in 2020. And that wraps up the stories this morning, but before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Tina Motors, Security Bank, Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council Member Alan Lim of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.